So welcome along to Friday Forum Live, coming to you from Point Blank here in East London, where today I am very, very pleased to be joined by head of the school, Mr. JC Concato.
Hi everyone.
So today, JC is here to give us an insight into using Akai's MPC. We're going to get a look at the workflow using the MPC, also the software that comes with it, and also just a kind of overview of how to use the hardware, really. Just before we get into the session, I should give you a quick rundown of what's been going on this week at Point Blank. So first up, a few of the team, myself included, have just got back from IMS in Ibiza, where we hosted the official IMS anthem and also an official remix lab as well. If you head over to Point Blank Plus, you should be able to find a two-piece article all about what we got up to, interviews on there with Nile Rodgers, with Eats Everything as well. So yeah, head over to Point Blank Plus and check that one out. Also, it's worth talking to you guys about the fact we've just launched a new how-to series in association with Beatport. So we're going to have Ski, Oakenfold, deconstructing a whole range of tracks of contemporary dance music. That series is due to launch any day now, so head over to Beatport or also Point Blank Plus, where you can find more info on that one. So finally, we have our full range of online courses which just got underway on Monday. So you can still enroll for those ones. Today's the last day, so if you do want to learn more about music production, about some of the stuff we're going to be doing today, then head over to Point Blank Online and check those out. Otherwise, the full range of courses get going again on June 24th, and we are enrolling right now. So yeah, that's it from me. Let's introduce JC and tell us a little bit about what you're going to do today, man.
Okay, well, basically Akai has very kindly provided us with a MPC, the studio version. Mm-hmm. So they, for those of you who are maybe aware, they've got three range available. The Renaissance, which is the really big, kind of more MPC traditional big studio thing. Mm-hmm. That is the most. They've got another portable one that goes with the iPad, mm-hmm. and that's the kind of the one in the middle.
Right.
Works with the software is exactly the same as Renaissance. So everything you can do here, you can do with Renaissance. Mm-hmm. Except that, well, the first thing that really struck me for me was like how portable it is.
Yeah,
you know,
definitely.
I've got that in my laptop bag. Mm. I've tried it in the park.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
And also, you've used obviously the original MPCs.
Yeah, I used it, but not extensively. I was kind of like making beats on some of the hip hop production I used to do, mm-hmm. and then the guys would kind of arrange it while I would move on and doing other stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I've used MPC. So for me, I was keen to see, does it has that kind of groove?
Because obviously it's a bit of a legendary.
Totally,
you know.
Totally. I mean, I think what's legendary about it is the groove. Everybody, you know, refer to it, and many DAW always have those swing, MPC swing. The MPC swing is really kind of quite legendary. Mm-hmm. But I think it's also the pad. They were the first one to do the pad thing. Mm-hmm. You know, it's a complete workstation. I remember back in the days, especially in hip hop, people would make full-on track with just the MPC. You know. What's great about it is it's a sampler, it's a sequencer, it's a hands-on controller, all in one box, which has a really awesome workflow. Mm-hmm. And that's kind of what I wanted to kind of like go over it.
Mm-hmm. And I guess the other thing is you know, Machine. You know, this has come out slightly after Machine as well.
Yeah, I think, you know, everybody was kind of, when Machine came out, was kind of like, oh, this is what maybe Akai should have done. You know, I'm not going to go into, I don't know Machine, I haven't used it, so I can't compare it. What I want to highlight today is actually quite the opposite, in the sense that it's not about the tools. Ableton, Cubase, Reason, Akai, Machine, Logic. It's about what you do with them and what works for you. It's about you develop a workflow that works for you, you feel comfortable with, and then after that it should be about the music, you know. I'm noticing at the moment, many questions are always, what's the best plugin, what I should be using, should I be using that rather than that, instead of that. Really, it doesn't make no difference whatsoever, in my opinion. It's about what you're going to be doing with it, you know. As you know, I know we've talked about it together, Luke, before, but this Renaissance, they kind of revive all of hardware.
That's right,
You know, a lot of analog synths have been released, big thing. And
fairly affordable hardware as well, it seems to be.
Totally. You know, I mean, this package, I mean, it's not totally hardware, it's completely software linked, unlike the MPC, which allows you to do a little bit more because there's a software behind it. But I think what I love about hardware is that with software at the moment, people are going more and more, we're getting more and more visual cues, okay? Melodyne, all the metering, all the EQing, compression. We're getting more and more display that are supposed to tell us whether it's good or not.
Yeah, whether it sounds good,
yeah.
I guess. So it's just kind of a strange
and it's
thing.
kind of like, yeah, exactly. It sounds good. Decision should be made with your ear, you know, with your ear. What I'm doing here today is I'm turning off the velocity, the luminosity of my computer.
It's going to go blind.
So I'm going to go blind and just use the MPC just as a piece of hardware. What I love about it, at first I was a bit surprised because the screen is obviously back like 15 years ago. I mean, with the MPC I wasn't really a master of the MPC, but I've had pretty much all the S series sampler Akai. S950, 1000, 3000, 3000, you know. So I'm very comfortable with the Akai system. So what I've tried is I've played only a few hours with it, and I wanted to kind of approach today's session as kind of like, it's not like I've unboxed it, but nearly. So I wanted to get that kind of feel for it. And my first impressions are, it's extremely light. So first I was kind of like, is it a bit of a toy? And no, this is a really serious piece of gear. First of all, it's really well built. It's really solid. It's brilliant. It's really, really great. I'm really quite falling in love with it. Really.
Well, let's just before we actually, get going with it. I also should say that for you guys watching at home, it is your chance to ask any questions. Obviously, as JC said, I haven't had, kind of weeks with the MPC, so if you haven't got any questions, we'll do our best.
Totally. I mean, I know the features. I know all of the features. I just haven't used them all. So some of it I haven't gone automation, I haven't sequenced the whole song. But what I'm aiming to do quickly, I want to highlight some of the cool thing I like about that I've always loved about MPC, the Akai series. Some of the stuff that you can't do with software.
Yeah, definitely.
So first thing I'm going to browse, so you can browse very quickly. I'm going to do everything from there. Obviously, if you use the software, you can find things a lot quicker, and that's the whole advantage. I'm not saying do it my way here, do it whatever is quickest for you. But I want to show you that you can do, I would say about 99% just doing here. So you've got the browser here, and you've got 5 kind of location point. What it means is that if I press here Shift and I can go folder 1, folder 2, folder 3, I can already assign 5 different places where I can organize my libraries. So it's pretty wicked. And you can also filter by sample, program, sequence, and project. So that's pretty cool. So I want to find some program first. I have to say the MPC also come with quite a huge, about 9 giga of sound library, plus an extra 7 giga. Plus it comes with the expansion, I will open it up later, 809, a virtual instrument with all 808 and 909 samples.
Right, okay, wicked.
Really cool stuff. So let's go to browser here, and I'm gonna shift, and I'm select this here. So here you see I'm on my Akai content folder. I can open it here, and here I've got my 3, so I've got the 809, the MPC loop library, it comes with a lot of loops, and the drum content, so I'm going to open it here, and I'm going to open some kits, so I'm opening the kit here, and here you see, you go back into, so I'm going to just open some really house kits really quickly. I'm not going to focus on the production aspect, I just want to go on the workflow, replace. So now, as you can see, I've loaded up 3 different programs. The structure of the MPC in terms of the workflow works as such. You've got program, which is where all your samples are contained and the way they're split and filtered and tuned and all that kind of stuff on each pad. All of that is within a program. And then you've got sequence and track. A sequence is like a pattern. It can be 2 bar, 1 bar, 4 bars, 8 bars. And then to make your songs, you put together the sequences.
Right, okay.
Within a sequence, you've got up to 128 tracks.
Right.
And then you've got 16 pads, but you can have actually, within one program, spread over 8 bank. So 16 by 8. So it's
pretty huge.
It's pretty huge, really. And I always use 16, to be honest. So here I'm going to start track 1, and I've got house beat 1. One of the things I'm going to show you, first of all, so we're getting some sound. So obviously the cool thing about it is you can play. I'm not going to do heavy finger drumming. There are people who are doing it far better than I do. But I just want to show you very quickly one cool thing about it. It's the way you can swap sound and audition them while on the fly while you're doing stuff. So I'm going to quantize that. Okay, now that was absolutely terrible. Instead, Beauty, you can erase quickly. I'm not going to look here. So simple stuff here, really basic. All I wanted to do is not how amazing this bit is, but the cool thing about it is that now I can...
Ah, right, okay.
That's really why I wanted to show you.
Yeah, yeah.
And if I had more kit loaded...
So you're changing the whole kit?
You can change the whole kit.
Can you change individual sounds, I take it as well? Yeah,
of course you can as well change individual sound. And that's
really
the one
useful
thing for me.
Yeah,
is
yeah,
that
definitely.
you could load all your kit, like let's say 10 different kits that you really like, and start seeing the context of the song.
Yeah.
So that for me is a massive thing.
Yeah, definitely.
Really is a massive thing.
Yeah.
You know?
You can get an idea going, then kind of think about the sounds.
Totally. And look how seamless it is.
Yeah.
Not a glitch.
Very quick.
It's instant. Yeah. It's really, even as a live thing, I would imagine as a performer, you could actually use that technique as well, you know. So that for me is the first thing. So maybe let's start. I'm on track 1. Okay, I'm going to replace that kick actually. Again, pressing erase. Okay, now I've got it. So I'm going to overdub 1. Okay. Where do we do that? Okay, now we're back on track. So we've got that. Okay, I'm on 16 now, so let's erase. I'm going to show you some of the... Okay, so now in terms of the quantize, you go there. One thing I would love to see with the MPC is that you choose your division here, so you could have it completely off. So when you play, because a lot of hip hop guys would want to
really free,
and then quantize afterwards. So here you can have it directly. But let's start to look a little bit at the swing, because I think it's a big thing about the MPC, obviously. So I could apply it straight away now, and it's going to apply to whatever I play. One new thing that wasn't in the original MPC is the strength. You can decide how strong you put your quantize to. So if you were to do a house beat and stuff, and you've got something which is pretty good, but not quite enough, you want to just make it a little bit closer to the beat, that could work really well. So that's another thing that is pretty cool. Let's put it from the start. Now, let's swing that. See the swing straight away?
Yeah.
Now, let's redo that. So that's a simple beat, but it's already quite grooving nicely because of the swing. So now, several things I want to show you again. Program edit here. So you can sample here. Let's say if I wanted, I go into sample. If I want, you can layer sample.
Okay.
And it's a really cool thing. I'm not aware of many sampler that allows you, in terms of software, now that we've got some software that allows you to actually layer sound.
So is that layering on the pad?
On the pad. You can have up to 4 samples playing on the same pad. So that's really cool.
Yeah, most definitely.
So let's say if I go there, I go with the Q-Link here, and I've got my 4 Q-Link here that can access all the parameters. The Renaissance got 60 Q-Links, obviously, because it's much bigger. So I could go Q-Link 2, and here, I don't know if you can see the MPC or maybe show the software, guys. Obviously, I'm not looking at the software, but see? I'm layering sound. Obviously, here I've got a...
Yeah, so you get a beefy kick drum.
So let's go with that, actually. Or you can have that. Yeah, that's pretty beefy, that. So we can go there. And then obviously you can access every single parameter.
If you just give the mouse pad a little, because I think it might be on screensaver. Yeah,
is it showing up now?
Yeah.
Thanks, guys. Okay, so now there's several ways you can, so just want to show you the layering of the sound is really awesome. For example, let's go back into our program, and I want to go program edit. I'm going there, it's my snare. I'm making sure it's my clap snare. As you notice here, there's already 2 samples. There's a snare and a clap. Oh, hello?
1 second.
I've got a clap, and now I could put another one if I wanted to. So you see here, it's on its own. Yeah. Straight away now, it's already. So that's a bit fatter. Now, one of the cool things about the MPC, if you use the software, is you can literally load samples, drag them onto the pad directly. So putting a kit together is really quick. But I'm not going to do that because I'm going to do it from the hardware. So I'm going to go the hard way. So let's see what I could find. I'm going to go into groups here, and I'm going to this time around not by program, but I'm going to filter by sample, and I want a kind of a tom sounds. So I've got to go. Obviously, I could go quicker if I was going there, but like I said, I'm going to go the hard way. There must be some tom in there. Not in there. So in that case, let's go into the kit one, and here there must be some. Another thing that you've got. It's just going to be annoying, but. If you were in the mood of working, that's kind of what you could be doing, guys. So let's find a little tom. I'm on the letter E. Here, I've got one here. Perfect. That's the kind of vibe I want to use. So now, obviously here, you know what, let's have it here. I'm not going to use that kick, so I'm going to go there. And then I'm going here. So again, I'm going there. I'm selecting my sample here. So I'm going to go for my tom. Perfect. Then I can tune it. And then you've got all the stuff, filter, and all that kind of stuff that you can apply, you know. It comes with black. And let's have some of that. And what I want to do is I want to make the filter open up as... depending on how loud I'm playing, because I think that's
okay. Yeah.
So that I think is quite a cool thing to have, maybe. Yeah. Yeah, that kind of works. So let's see that. Again, as you've noticed, guys, well, maybe not. I'm still working on one track. What it means is. If I mute that track, nothing is playing. It's one thing that for me, I hope Akai is going to... by the way, I've got version 1.4, which is not released yet. It's the beta that Akai kindly sent to me yesterday. And it's been great. It works 64-bit as well now. It supports 64-bit, and it's been really quite steady. So it's been great. It's been great. So let's see what we can do. Yes, one of the things I'd love to see on the MPC is at some stage, a lot of guys who make beats on the MPC don't bother to put a kick on track 1, a snare on track 2. You know, you kind of build it as I've done here, because you can do that so quickly. But I would love to see like a demix button, so that I do all my beat and then after that separate them by pad. That I think would be a really cool feature.
Definitely.
So
I guess especially when you come to kind of arrange something or put something together,
Totally.
And I guess if you start sending stuff to effects.
Exactly, especially after that, if you're going to start bringing stuff into your DAW to do more stuff, you want that kind of separation, I suppose.
Definitely.
So I think that would be cool, because a lot of people I know tend to work making a beat like that, and then, so just for that purpose, I may go onto another track. I'm going to do another track, but I'm keeping the same beat, and let's see. I really like that swing, man. I've got to say.
Yeah, it's good.
That's kind of what makes it work. And now you can mix as well. So if you look here, there's several ways to mix. You can program mix or track mix. So if I press shift here, I've got my mixer. So on track 1, if the new stuff I've done, you can turn it down.
What about like if you wanted to put a little bit of delay on it or something like that? Yeah.
I can insert or have a send.
Okay.
It has a full. You see here, I'm going into there. Let's go for. You were saying a delay. Look. Let's do that. Yeah.
It's really quick as well, you know, no time at all.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. It really is awesome. Okay, so now let's say I wanted to put a quick bass, let's say quickly. So I'm gonna create a new, I'm gonna go for another track again to make that on a different track. And this time around, there's different type of tracks you can have. So the drums mean it's all your pads here. You can have a plugin, which means I could open up plugins.
Right, okay.
Like extra plugins.
We've got a little shower from Luca.
That's my boy.
That's your boy, picking up Dad.
Excellent. So plug in here, MIDI or key group. A key group means that I can start putting one sample and spread it across all the pads and play it.
Yeah.
So for now, I'm going to do it as a normal drum. I'm going to keep it simple. What I'm going to be doing here, instead of this cymbal, let's have a bass. I need a bass sound. So let's go onto my browser. You can go completely back here. I'm so unorganized right now. Open JC, desktop. I've got few samples. I've got to go samples. Yeah, I've got a bass here. It's just a sample. That's all it does. So here it is. Okay, I've got it here. So now you see you've got the one shot, which is the typical MPC. If you were playing with sample, you would trigger them. You see the kind of guys who performed you.
Yeah. Jeremy Sylvester over here.
No, nowhere near. But I'd love to practice eventually. I've got time. That's the kind of vibe you can do. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
So we can program that. So I'm not gonna have it as a one shot. Instead, I'm gonna have it as not on, which means I can control.
Yeah.
And maybe we can do some stuff as well here. Some filter stuff I think would be a bit more interesting. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, sometimes it just doesn't do always. I've noticed maybe there's a bug with that button. Yeah. And then I'm gonna do a bit of filter attack to make it sound like coming up. I think we're getting there.
And I guess you can automate all of this.
All of that you could as well, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's just this one little bug that I'm getting all the time on this button. Yeah, because you could start.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Come on. Yeah, there's a bug with that button. Need to. Yeah, sounds a bit nicer. So little bass here, and then if we wanted to, we could have a guitar. So let's quickly add a guitar to it. So I'm gonna add another track, and this time around I'm gonna go for a key group, and that means I'm on program 2. I'm gonna load a sound. I swear I saw some guitar sample at some stage. Where is my folder? I need the MPC content. I think it's in there. And I'm on letter B, so I'm going to... You see, but I really wanted to show you the guy. And to be honest, I quite like going to work that way, instead of being able to scroll down and use the function that I use for email, Excel sheet, and Word document. You know, for me, I don't use them for music. You know, you need a bit of that. So for me, it's quite refreshing to start.
I guess also for some of us, you know, you're working all day on the computer, you know, in your day job, getting home and not having to stare at a screen is a benefit.
You know what I mean? Totally. I think it's really the main thing for me. And also, it's the fact that if you do that, suddenly it's kind of like you don't ask yourself, okay, I've got battery, I've got EXS, I've got contact, I've got that. What shall I use to start making a beat? You're kind of like, no, that I know what I'm going there. You know, I like that. All that I think really helps you to become hopefully a bit more creative.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so let's go into guitar mode. Here's some guitars. Maybe.
Also, while JC is kind of going through the samples, guys, make sure that you do get your questions in. You know, we are going to be kind of going through everything at the end of the session. So anything you want to know about the MPC, about what JC's doing, you know, just post up in the chat room and we'll go through them.
Let's load that, see what happens. And I mean, so we're in program 2. So now I'm going into sample, and my guitar here. Yeah. So you see, now they're kind of like that, so I can tune it a little bit, maybe. Let's tune it there. Let's give it a +12. And then we can certainly make it sound more interesting. Let's test some of the other filter stuff, maybe. Because there's so many really, really cool filters, to be honest, guy. Am I distorting a little bit?
That sounds quite good, though.
I quite like it. Yeah,
quite like it. Yeah.
Exactly, personally, I'm kind of like,
distortion.
Absolutely, man. Got all those filters.
They're good, aren't they?
They're really cool, man, I quite like those band filters as well.
Yeah.
And then you could...
Yeah. And can you record all of that in, you know, all that automation thing?
That's the one thing I haven't worked out.
Right.
Okay. You can, but you can.
You can, yeah.
Well, let's try. It may not work, so I'm going to make a fool of myself again.
Seems to have done it right. Yeah. It sounds good. It sounds really good.
Yeah.
Very quick as well.
It's really quick,
so
you know.
Fast.
And I'm still learning it.
Yeah.
So, you know, people who are really going to be on it, I would imagine. And like I said, for me, it's about have you seen here, all I've made, the decision you made, I've all made, I'm not saying it's a brilliant piece of music, but what I'm saying is that all the decisions I've made are based on what I'm hearing, not on what I'm seeing. And maybe the sample is not cut exactly right, or maybe it could be, and maybe I would do that if I was seeing it here, and maybe it wouldn't grow, it wouldn't have that. It's the process is more fun.
I guess as well, when you do see something, you're forced into habits, aren't you? You know, you're like, oh, I have to trim that there, and that has to be on the beat there. And
which is, you know, the whole thing about hip hop, why it was grooving, especially old school hip hop, was because the samples were not cut. You know, I can show you. I've got some hip hop samples. Again, you can put them, but the front is, and that's what makes it groove a little bit better. You know, and obviously it has also all the great MPC stuff, such as the repeat button. Let me go on the track.
Oh, we've got a question from Luca, from your boy.
Oh.
Luca's asked, can you change the pitch of each sound?
Yes, you can.
Yeah,
you can, my boy. I'll show you that. So program here. Here. So it's got all these.
Oh, you got beat repeat stuff as well, yeah.
And it's pressure sensitive.
Yeah. That's wicked.
So it works pretty well. And then obviously for performance it can be quite cool as well. You can mute the pad.
Yeah.
So for people performing live, you can
and
mute
also,
the pad,
I guess,
you can mute the track.
For me, sometimes doing an arrangement, it's much nicer to do it live. Get a sketch like that.
And from what my understanding, and I haven't tried it yet completely, but apparently you can literally do your arrangement live and you record it. So that the same kind of approach as
and then I guess you go in and maybe edit it afterwards. Yeah.
So that's pretty good. And I would imagine the old Akai MPC was a bit of a putting sequence songs together arrangement was not the best way,
definitely.
But with the software here,
it's
suddenly much better. So, you know, they've improved, suddenly the software opens up that world.
Yeah.
I know today I wanted to focus on, I'm just using that, I'm not looking at the computer.
But I guess when you're coming to, you know, perhaps use just MPC and put a whole track together, you can do it with the combination of both. Yeah.
Also, the MPC works as an audio unit plugin. So you can open the MPC within Logic if you wanted to.
Okay.
But what I can show you as well is that you can actually open other plugins within the MPC.
That's actually one of the questions I was going to say. Jeremy Holden's asked, is there a choice of using third-party plugins?
Absolutely. Yeah. For mixing, for everything.
Okay.
So it's pretty cool.
That is cool.
Again, let's start a new track. Let's say, for example, I've got something on there. So I could go there. And instead of choosing key group, you choose plugin. Or MIDIs for external hardware. You've got two MIDI in. It's one thing that I love about it. It's got also MIDI in and out and clocking. So I can clock it as a hardware, like the Always. So I could clock it to another sequencer. I like that, you know, that kind of physicality.
And as we say, you know, the amount of kind of hardware coming out.
Totally.
You know, that is going to be, I think, lots of this new stuff, it has all, you know, clocking capabilities.
For arpeggiators and stuff like that. So I could clock send the clock, get a synth, and clock it, and the arpeggiator syncs with that, you know. I quite like that. Instead of being all in the box. I think moving outside of the computer is... I think people start to realize that it's maybe not the best way to make music. You know? I think we're coming back in circle, I think.
And also an affordable price, like we said before, which is a huge thing.
Totally.
You know, massive.
I think that for £400 is great. So here I can go plugin, and here I choose my plugin list, and suddenly you can see here, I've got all my plugins that I've got on my computer here. So I've got my whole complete, Reactor, Massive, Contact. So let's open, let's say FM8, for example. The only thing I can't do now, now I'm going to have to open. This is the time. I haven't worked out how to load presets and obviously touch the synth. I've got to open it here, but FM8 is there now. So you see what I mean? So I can got there. I've got some keyboard. Let's use that. It's going to be quite low. So again, you can play through the pad. You know, it's working. I've got third party opened. It's, you know, it works for a treat. Another thing, maybe last. Do we have questions?
We've got someone's asked Evis Official, who I'm guessing it's probably something to do with the MPC. So asked about tips on adding life to percussion sections. So I mean, we talked about swing. That's probably the most, you know, with the MPC.
If you're good at playing stuff, you can play it in. But there is also, you can load any type of file. MP3, WAV, AEF, but also loops. That you can chop up inside or recycle file. So what I wanted to show you...
There's also kind of on the same topic. Gilhem has said, how can I crop vocals? So I guess you can kind of cut up loops within it as well.
Yeah. I mean, the thing about... it's a great sample. Look, that's my sample editor here. And you can chop here. You go into the chopping. The best thing to show you that, guys, is I'm going to load another sample, I guess. So I'm going to... set up another track again. I'm not going to choose plugin this time around. I'm going to go into drums and I'm going to browse. I'm going to go back on my desktop, open JC, samples. I've got a very simple drum loop here and I'm going to go into sample edit and I select my sample. Come on. Has it loaded it? See, now that I see my computer.
Yeah, no, it's hard not to look at it.
So I'm going to switch it off again.
Yeah.
Thank you. So here I've got my sample. Okay, let's move it in trim. I've got a simple funky drum loop. So here I can chop up, change the start, you know, like always. But you can go into chop. I go into audition, and it slices it. You've got a threshold, so it's basically a built-in recycle.
Okay. Right.
So to extract kit.
It's pretty accurate as well.
Yeah.
Right?
And I can go and change the start and end of each slice. So I do that. But then the beauty of it is you go convert. And here, slice sample, crop sample, create new program, and create events. So now, number of bars 2, or shall I do it 1? Let's try. Obviously, not quite right. Let's go there. Let's solo that track. Because I've done it over 2 bars.
Right, okay.
Where it's a 1 bar loop.
Yeah, so it stretched it across.
It stretched it across. So that's the idea. But you can chop up a sample. Let's redo it quickly. I can't have that. Let's do that. Sample edit again. Convert. And number of bars 1. Do it. Yeah, no. That should work. So, yeah, I've got the whole bar here, so.
I think that was the kind of, actually Ski, locked in from Japan.
Hi,
cool. Ski.
Hey, Ski. How you doing, man?
He asked the same thing as well. Can it chop up beats?
Yes,
a la slice to MIDI, basically.
You've got slice to MIDI, automatically pad here. I do a lot of break beats in there. And just to extract the sound, I use that function just to...
Yeah. We've got kind of as we run kind of out of time. One of the final questions from DJ Ben there. He's asked, is it possible to sample an outside sound, or do your samples have to come from in the box?
No, okay.
Yeah.
The Renaissance, the big difference between the Studio and the Renaissance is the Renaissance got output and input.
Right. Okay.
So proper sampling.
Yeah.
And that means you also have the modes. They've done the modes for the MPC 60, SP1200. So you can have those output mode, vintage modes. But that you can absolutely hear. You see, I'm going to shift sample rec. I can record a sample. The difference is it's going to take the input from my sound card. Which is attached to my computer.
Okay.
So that's what I love about it.
That's amazing.
That's really what I love about it. It's
So if you are sat in the studio, something happens and you want to record it, you know.
Totally, and you can resample stuff as well.
Yeah.
So you know the whole resampling stuff from inside, you can. So I could resample everything here I've done, and so
right,
yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty awesome, really.
I think, yeah, I mean, for me, I think, you know, the main points that we've covered are definitely, you know, the workflow, getting away from the screen is a massive thing as well.
It's the main thing for me, you know,
yeah,
and it retains, it sounds good, the library it comes with is great, I love the groove.
I also think as well, you know, the fact that you're not missing out, you know, obviously there are things with the Renaissance that are, you know, very impressive, but, you know, even this smaller package is still,
totally,
you know, very
totally, and
impressive,
like I said, you know, at first when I opened it at the box, I mean, but then I really like it. It's kind of like in my bag with that, just plugging the USB. If there's a couple of things, obviously you don't have the screen coming up.
Yeah,
Which
I mean,
is
I was
the
going to
whole
ask you,
MPC
there
stuff.
any things that you know,
Not-
think that could
not
be
a big
improved?
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think certain things like the envelope, I'm getting used to it now. The envelope is much better to do here.
Okay.
For example, if I go into Program Edit, what I would love to see on the envelope is have my start, my 4 buttons underneath, and I can do my release and my attack here if possible.
Yeah.
And
I guess,
I'm not
so
a
how do
huge
you do
fan
that? You
of
have
the
to,
Q-Link.
Yeah.
The reason
okay.
if they're flat,
Right.
to scroll, it's absolutely fine. To do automation with filter, I'm not a huge fan.
Because you've got the one finger movement. Yeah.
But I can see why they've done it, because you wouldn't have, you know, I mean, it comes with that,
Yeah.
this sweet little, so you put that in there, in your bag, and off you go, you know what I mean? So you can't have it, you can't win.
Yeah.
I'm getting used to those.
Does the Renaissance have more?
The Renaissance got 16Q,
Right.
which are proper knobs.
Okay, that's what I thought.
And obviously
Yeah,
those
yeah,
Q links
yeah.
you can assign to your plugins. That's what you use for automation.
Yeah.
And I would say that is maybe a little bit more fiddly
Yeah.
if you start doing stuff.
Yeah.
I'm sure you can get used to it. The other part, I mean, basically that was in introduction. What I'd love to now is spend quite more time with it, really go depth, and do another FFL.
Well, I think we
and kind
should.
of like
You know, I think we definitely should.
Finding out what, you know.
Well, I mean, you know, many thanks for showing us, you know, the MPC JC.
Cool, pleasure.
And for you guys watching at home, you know, as I said before, if you do have any more questions, you know, post up in the chat room. This whole session is going to be archived, so you can just head to the YouTube channel, watch it all over again. You know, kind of maybe get a bit more in depth into what we've talked about today. And as I say, if you've got any questions, just post up in the chat room, and JC will do his best to answer them.
I shall try that.
And that's it for us today for Friday Forum. We'll be back in 1 week's time, so we'll see you very, very soon. Thanks for watching.